Welcome back everybody to the Driftless Homestead. Today in this video we are going to be transporting and cutting ironwood logs for use in my mushroom farm. The reason we use ironwood logs is because the logs are a very close natural substance to grow the mushrooms in, as opposed to growing it in a form of substrate. These logs have worked very well for me in the past, and I'm hoping to collect enough to do a small-scale farm to bring to market. Please enjoy this video.
There's that one tree. I got the two runners to keep the ironwood logs out of the dirt so that we don't introduce the wrong fungus into them when we go to put the shiitake mushroom plugs in. So we end up with the shiitake mushroom fungus in there, mycelium. So we got 2, 4, 6 logs out of that one tree. So as you can see, it wouldn't take long to end up with a couple hundred mushroom logs. You know, that's one tree. I usually don't spend so much time cutting up the top, but you know, I wanted to get these 2 other logs for runners. So I'll leave that top lay, or I'll knock the branches off, because if you cut down a tree and you can get most of it to the ground, you know, the different funguses or whatever will start breaking the tree down. So they go away quicker. So let me put you back on a tripod here. The saw we're using for these ironwood logs, and the ones I used for those ash trees too, because they weren't that big, is the MS362. This is a dynamite chainsaw for firewood. You can put whatever Stihl's manual says you could put a 25-inch bar on it, but it was a little bit doggy, so I shrunk it down to this 16-inch bar for doing firewood. The other reason for that is you can lay this on top of the log and use the bar's length as your measuring device. So we'll get her running here and get some more ironwood logs down. So I think it'll miss you. We'll try it out. Remind me to build some stairs here so I can get up the hill. Okay, we got those two trees cut up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 logs per tree again. You know, so this goes by pretty quick. If the ground was still frozen, I didn't slip around so much, I'd be able to get more done. So when you're doing this, cutting these trees down, they need to be in their dormant state. And I would say, for the most part, if you could get them down in December and January, it's more optimal than like right now when you're doing it like me, racing against the clock. Just because when you look at Field and Forest Products website, they have several documents on there to help you figure out what you're doing when you inoculate mushroom logs. And it really is very helpful. But I usually end up cutting my logs later because we have restricted access as far as getting up here with the winter. You know, the four-wheelers don't do well in snow. So, and these ironwood logs, when I go mushroom hunting in a few weeks, well, more than a few weeks, I guess at the end of April, 1st of May is when the morel season starts. And you'll see these mushroom logs. It'll look like fungus, but this pink ooze comes out of them. And it's all sugar coming out of the roots. You could actually make syrup out of ironwood. There are people who tap black walnut trees for syrup as well. I would never do that. The black walnut lumber is so valuable. When the loggers come through to harvest the black walnuts, they cut them. They don't cut them with wedges. You know, they don't wedge the cut. They go straight through it. They'll use more plastic wedges in there, and they go as low as to ground as they can because that wood is so valuable. They want to spare every single inch that they possibly can from the log. So I did, when I was cutting the one tree, I ended up nicking the bark on there. I'll just cover it with wax. It'll be fine. I won't let it sit in the woods too long, so it won't be that open for fungus. The wrong fungus. A lot of people, when they do these logs too, you see there's moss on the bark. I've seen them do it with oak trees, which is probably the best wood for this, according to Field and Forest website. But the oak tree, there'll be fungus. I guess they're lichen and moss growing on all the trees. And I've seen people take a wire brush to clean off the moss and lichen. And I have never had a problem just drilling through that to plug them, so you don't have to be that involved. So the 500 mushroom plugs I bought from Field and Forest cost me $300. And the amount of mushrooms that you'll get from 100 logs is a lot. And these shiitake mushrooms are premium mushroom. If you see them in the store, you'll see a quart container full of them with the stems on. And then look at how much that weighs. And then calculate the price. I bet you, last year I think they were $18 a pound. And with the inflation rate the way it is, I'm sure you're going to see them much more than $18 a pound this year. Gave some to my aunt and uncle, and I don't know, there's a couple hundred of them, and they put them in their stir fries, and they realized how good they were. They ended up rationing them out. They figured how many days or how many stir fries they could have, so they counted out the mushrooms and separated them so that they had enough to eat over the time frame that they like to eat it. So I thought that was pretty cool. They thought that much. And then they asked if they could have more. And I was out already. My daughter-in-law kind of likes them too, so I had to share some with her, which isn't a problem. So, well, there's 20 ironwood logs for mushrooms. I want to get, what did I have? I had 25. 25. I do need to get a few more down today, so I have enough. Even though Tony does have, I don't know, 10 or so. So, let's go a little further down the road. I have some that I marked in another video, and we'll cut those. So, hang on.